Dear scholar, this lecture is about the review of qualitative research. You will learn about what is qualitative research, what are the methods of qualitative research, how to design the qualitative research, how to collect the literature review in qualitative research, different type of technique of data collection in qualitative research, sampling in data collection, sharing the result in data collection, and presenting the qualitative research. You will learn all about this. My name is Dr. Muhammad Riaz. I'm working as a senior research officer in Bureau of Curriculum in Qualitative. I have more than 30-year teaching and research experience. If you like this lecture, please hit the bell icon and also subscribe my channel for watching the upcoming video. So what is the qualitative research? So qualitative research, review of qualitative research. In qualitative research, we do not test the hypothesis or previous theory. Keep this point in your mind. In qualitative research, we may try to develop new theories based on what happened in a specific situation. So, we do not test the theory. Actually, we develop the new theory. Moreover, in qualitative research, we do not try to generalize our finding. We often rely on collected data from interview, observation, content analysis of the newspaper, books, videos, case record, and other developed document in various offices and the library. In qualitative design, we usually do not know or try to develop a response category prior to conducting the study. So, this is the brief review of qualitative research design. Qualitative research tend to answer research question rather than test the hypothesis. So mostly in qualitative research, we design the research question. We seldom look at effectiveness of the interview. In qualitative research, we examine the perception, action, and feeling of participant. We obtain detailed information about interview, content analysis, and observation. So mostly we collect the data and we obtain the information from the interviews, content analysis, and the observation in the qualitative research. There are types of qualitative research. 4 types are very popular, and these are ground theory, ethnography, phenomenological, and field research. There are some other type of qualitative research, but in this lecture, I will discuss mostly about the ethnography and field research. Strength. Now, I would like to share the strength and weakness of the qualitative research. In qualitative research, we take the depth of understanding of the phenomena. For example, if we would like to observe the different methods of in the classroom. We try to understand what is going to happen in the classroom. Other strength is there is a flexibility in qualitative research. In qualitative research, it does not mean 2 and 2 make a 4. So it's logically an natural type of research. Despite of some strength, qualitative research has some weakness. The first weakness is subjectivity. It focuses on subjectivity rather than objectivity. Qualitative research suggestive, not definitive. As I already said, it does not make 2 and 2 make 4. In qualitative research, there is a limited generalizability. Mixed method is possible in qualitative research. So these are the strength and weakness of qualitative research. Qualitative research term, mostly we use the term in qualitative research, and these are structure interview. In structure interview, we design the research question before conducting the interview. There is a sometimes semi-structure. In semi-structure interview, we design some question before, and sometimes we ask the question during conducting interview and according to the need. Unstructured interview means we do not design the question before conducting the interview. Informal conservation interview, sometimes we start the conversation with the participant and conduct the interview. Interview protocol or guide. Sometimes we have a protocol or guide for the qualitative research interview. Standardized open-end interview, closed fixed response interview, thick description we do in the qualitative research. We also take field note in qualitative research, and they are descriptive field note and reflective field note. I will discuss these 2 points in upcoming slide. Next, self-reflective comments, respondent as well as a researcher. So these are the qualitative research term mostly we use in 8. So qualitative research, data collection method, observation and ethnography. In ethnography, we take the observation. Most of time, we involve them any group of the people, and we observe everything and write the note, ethnographic note in our diary. We choose what to do, observer and your observer role, and we also discuss role of gatekeeper. Gatekeeper is very common term in the United States, and gatekeeper means head of the institution. For example, as a researcher, if you go in any school for collecting the qualitative research, first of all, you will get the permission, and from whom you will get the permission? You will get the permission from the principal. So in this example, gatekeeper is the principal. So I hope that now you have understand the gatekeeper means the person whom you have to get permission, and that is authority in the institution. There is a obstructive and unobstructive observation in the qualitative research. Ethnography data collection. Observation are the main form of data collection in ethnography research. How do we choose what to observe? Now, I would like to share, depending on your overall research question, keep in mind you will collect the data according to your research design. A single site in which culture sharing group has developed shared values, belief, assumption is important. So, I would like to share with an example. For example, in a school, you go in for collecting the data from the student. His site is your school, and your participants are students. You will also observe the activity of students. You will also the teaching method. You will also observe the shared value and observation of these people. I would like to share the example. For example, you go in any community like Hazara community in Qualitative, you will share values, belief, and assumption about that community. So these two are the simple example of qualitative research. In qualitative research, need to identify a group or individual of a group for collecting the data. Next question is, how do you gain access to the site? I mean, how will you be the goalkeeper in qualitative research? Access usually begin with the head of institution, that is called the gatekeeper, and our individual who is the member or who has a close connection to the group and site to be observed. Researcher contact this initial gatekeeper in order to gain access to the site and other. Simply, for example, if you would like to collect the data in a school, you will approach the head of institution. If you collect the data like any community, you will also approach the MNA or MPA or the Sadar or Nawab of that community who has influence on other people. So in this way, you can get the access to collecting data in community or institution in ethnographic research. Information need by the goalkeeper. Criswell, a very popular researcher of qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method, recommends 6 pieces of information to give goalkeeper. And he says, usually for trying to access the site, the gatekeeper or head of community or organization asks such kind of the 6 questions. And these 6 questions are, why was the site chosen to study? So he will ask, why did you come in my community or my school or my organization? What will be done this site during the observation? So you have to share all your research plan with the head of institution before conducting the research. How much time will be spent in the site by the researcher? As a researcher, how much time? I mean, you will spend few days, few months, few years in the research. How much will the researcher present descriptive? So we will ask, when you will conduct the research, it will descriptive the activity of the organization. For instance, if you visit a school and there is a activity in our class running, when you will go in the class, your influence or your presence will affect the activity of the school. How how will the result be reported? And how will your result be reporting? Either you will be impartial, what will be gatekeeper, the participant, and the side gain from the. So, what are the benefit of the gatekeeper, participant, and other people who are in the study side? So, these 6 questions will be asked you will ask by the participant. So head of institution will ask such kind of question from you before conducting the study in school and organization. So next, I would like to share using field note. Chris will recommend using observation protocol in order to record field note while you are in the field. Field notes should include descriptive and reflective notes. So, there are 2 types of the notes. One is the descriptive and other is the reflective. Now, I discuss these 2 types one by one. First, descriptive note, factual information about what is occurring. So, actually, these are factual information about. The focus should be thick description of all aspects of the site and individual. These include a physical description of the site and the individual, event and activity that are occurring, and social interaction between individuals. I would like to descriptive note with the example. Let's say as an ethnographer, you enter in the classroom, and you will in the classroom your site and student are individual. You will also description about the environment of the room, dress of the room, the sitting arrangement of the room, everything, the event and activity of the teacher and student, and the social interaction like teaching between teacher and student and between the student. So you will write all these things. Such kind of notes are called descriptive notes. Next, reflective notes. Reflective describe how you are reading and feeling about what you are observing, as well as initial interpretation about what you are observing. So you will take what you observe. Now you will write in your reflective notes. It means these are your reacting and feeling about the classroom, teacher, and student. So I hope now you have understand difference between descriptive note and reflective notes, and what are these types, and you will understand how you will take the descriptive and reflective notes in the classroom. Classroom exercise. Now I will share the example. Taking note field. Taking 5 minutes to write down all these things that notice about physical aspect of the classroom. Take descriptive and reflective note. What are the fact descriptive note? How do you feel about these facts? That is the reflective note. So fact, descriptive, and reflect. How do you feel about these? We will discuss response after this period. So you will take the note, and then you will write everything about the research. Now I would like to share issue in regarding field note. Warren described 2 main tension in process of recording field note. Number 1, tension between thick description and not the revealing people identity in the field. So you will take thick description, but you will not reveal people identity in the field. So that's the one tension. Other tension is between ethnographer revealing or concealing aspect of him or herself that might be relevant interpretation. So there are some information that is necessary, but ethnography is not interpretation. That is other tension in the research. So these are the two main issues in the research for the field node in ethnographic research. Next, common challenge in observation. Common challenge in deciding on what the role researcher will assume. Participant, unobstructive, middle ground observer. Remember to take field note. Record code accurately. Code accurately means you have to record everything that is going to happen and what your participants say. So, feeling overwhelmed with information and the need to the what record is in the field note. So, you will keep everything in your record while taking ethnographic notes. Now next, decide on your observer role, ranging from spectrum of all participant observer in obstructive observation, participant observer. A researcher who participates in a group while also observing the group. He will also observe the group. What are the benefits and drawbacks using a participant observer approach? Unobstructive observer, pure observation with no participation. What are the benefits, drawback, and using? So you have to keep these points in mind. Variation between participant and unobstructive observer. Not all 4 participants, but participant at time and unobstructive. So sometimes you have to unmark, you have to not unmark, and you are passing mark. It depends upon the role of observation in the class. Your presence as an observer in the group setting will be obviously the people in the setting. Make sure introduce yourself and your role and have the gatekeeper explain. So you have to explain everything before starting the research in your classroom while taking the notes. Principle of qualitative research. Step: preparing, organize the data. So you will transcribe. You will take the recording and then you will make it transcribe using various software. Dragon, Google are very popular, and FieldNote and other diary and collecting. Reduce the data into theme through the process of coding. No, and condense the code. No, you will reduce the theme by coding the data and condensing the code. Represented the data in figure, table, or narrative. A theme, no, I would like to ask, what is a theme? A theme is a category of information that you as the researcher identify and name that you may include variety of coding information. This involves the process of coding and the data and then condensing and classifying code into large family or theme. So this is the theme. I hope you understand how to make the theme in qualitative research. Qualitative analysis is an iterative process, meaning that final analysis of data is achieved by repeatedly reading and rereading the data, repeatedly developing theme and refining the truth. So you have analyzed the data and you have to reread your data and repeat and try to make it perfect. Step in qualitative analysis. So, develop theme involve process of classifying, describing, and interpreting the data. Data are reduced into meaningful chunk of information. During this process, some information will inevitably not be included in analysis. For example, in biography, narrative research, the researcher is typically coding people's story, life event, or life transition. Ethnographic research, the researcher is typically coding the function of culture sharing group, the social norm of the group, interaction between the participants. So these are the steps in research collecting the data. So, dear scholar, I hope that you have understand what is the qualitative research, what are the qualitative research design, how you will collect the data, like using observation, interview, and taking a note in various design like ethnography, field note, ground theory, and phenomenological. I hope that now you have understand the concept of qualitative research, and you will be able to conduct the qualitative research. If you like this lecture, please hit the bell icon and subscribe my channel for watching the upcoming video. Thank you very much.